The final round has come and gone, and tonight we crown our champion. It felt like a foregone conclusion, maybe, but it's been an amazing year and an amazing final map from qutebones. We have just been through all of the secrets and all of the tricks, traps and treats that this map has to offer. And now we take a look at the best runs of the week. We are starting it off, as is quite common, by your South American champion, Dez. Here we go. So please do check out, it was over an hour of going through the memes, the secrets, the jokes and everything in this map. Please do go and check out that video. It will be up after this video is up. And there will also be a couple of unlisted videos down in the description. So, yeah. This is Dez's run. He said, please don't laugh at him, but we never laugh at a good player. It's a decent run. And there's always needs to be someone to show off the map in general. Nice cut at the start. This looks fairly clean. Ooh, that's a brutal jump cut. And 600 speed. There always needs to be someone to show it off. I've just finished playing Quake from memory in Quake 1. And I was that person. Even on the end map, which is technically maxable, I was miles off. I was 2 seconds behind the first max, and then it turned out you could get a 1 minute, 60 seconds, 0.999. And I was not going for that, that's for sure. But Dez fling it into the finish. A very nice end there, actually. Very nice end. Rolling up next into our lap is Nature. Not quite sure. Something's gone on there. Nature and wdjzr have been swapped for some reason. That's slightly worrying. But here we go with Nature's run. This is quite a bit faster than Dez's. Teleskip saved 1 second, so that's pretty good. Okay, late rocket fire. Going for all on the tail end for the most exit speed he could get. That was a tricky section. Nice Hagar. Difficult for these first couple. So Dez plays generally on high ping, so never had a chance to learn weapons. Oh, we were talking about words a minute and type testing while doing this. Yeah, I should probably turn chat off for this section. I needed it on for the other bit, but we'll quickly turn chat off between this and the next. Nicely into the finish. I'm expecting some dodgy finishes because people have had amazing starts, and some really nice finishes that happen throughout this. HUD, panel, chat, 0. If you want to play around your kids, that is probably something you need to bind. Next on the list, we have wdjzr. How did that manage to get swapped around? Because I copy-pasted it from the list that I am now reading off of. I have a full unk typing speed, yeah. I type, like, I can touch type, but I type with basically, if you draw a line around WASD or like ESDF, whatever, RFV on a QWERTY keyboard. Draw a line down there, that's my whole left hand. Every finger being used. The rest of the keyboard is one finger. I have a terrible, terrible time typing. But I can get about 110, so, you know. I've been using monkey type as a way to not, like, just space out. Quite cool. Nice run here. Oh, bad eat on the ramp on that one. Unfortunate from wdjzr, but wdjzr's massively improved over this past year. 23rd overall, 1 place above Nature, but a whole nearly 2 seconds time gap. Clean. Good bounce there. Going to get onto this pretty well. Comes out just under 1800. That's a nice speed. Big red. Oh, yeah. Big red on the CPs. Ooh. I reckon it's that entry to the ramp. Like, killing entries on ramp, so bad. But super smooth, Hagar. Very nice run. Next up, what has happened with these? We are going to pause really quickly and come back when I have fixed the numbers. Right, all fixed up, just a mild mistake from me. And we now move into Plaza's run, a 52.44. This is your 20th place run. Plaza has had a massive improvement this year. Really, really good. We've talked about it throughout this whole section. I can't remember where he came last year, but playing long maps, the VP 100 maps, fighting with 2 across various different places, Plaza has got a lot better at this game and put in a massive grind. Congratulations to him for his placement overall, which we'll take a look at later. But it's been very nice seeing his runs, and I hope we get to see more of his runs over the next year on the regular servers, getting the world records in, chasing 2 into this start and overtaking him. Very nicely done. What's this route going to be? It's going to be up and straight through the hole, not using the full complement of grenades, and then taking this section out the outside. Woah's gone on the slide. We're going to see a lot of changing routes here. There is a big difference in routes. It's been a real eye-opener to see what other people are doing. But I think everybody's going to go, oh wow, yeah, that's a route. But whatever route you took, it was probably the best for you. Clean run into the finish. Yeah, it's interesting because I think you died so hard on the end that people were taking it safe, but it makes it look clean. So there'll be very few like little nicks and bumps because you pretty much just died if you did it. Following up Plaza is Snow's run. Back in third person for this week because there's no stacks. But Snow would like us to know that we need justice for third person players. And I agree. But you can play strafe maps all the time on the RR, RTG and HP servers. So join us over there. It's the week of shilling for the regular servers. Nice circle jump from the back of the run. Yeah, the Justices will ban the third person usage. That'll be perfect. Perfect. Oh, that was a nice landing. No speed lost there. Coming through very fast. Bounce. One bounce on the floor. Gets onto the ramp nice and clean. Little glitch. Fast rocket. Then goes up this outside. Oh yeah, I've seen this run. What am I talking about? Snow quit this map early after a couple of days to go and play RuneScape. The sailing update is apparently out. Now, admittedly, after XDWC is finished, I'm going to be playing Guild Wars. You thought those triangles were for decoration? They were for decoration. They were not for bouncing on like that, I don't believe. But every route is an acceptable route. Actually, no, it's not. I've seen some things that people are doing later on in this map. Following that up, we have surprised at being in the top 20 overall, Banano, with a 52.1 and a very nice time. Yeah, just because it's an unintended route doesn't mean it's not a legitimate route. Like I say, there are some illegitimate routes. We love all of you except for you. This is a super nice section. Banano sent me this. I couldn't manage to get it, but there's a double nade stack. It gets you a brilliant amount of speed coming out of here with 1800, which is really nice spacing. Then Banano goes straight to there. No Hagar on the wall in the first section, which is very fast to do. It's faster than slowing down for the Hagar for sure. Really nice setup. Yeah, Banano sent me that and I was like, damn, that's really cool. You can keep all that speed. And to follow that up, we have Amino, who was our hardcore parkour map player for this one. So yeah, check that out in the secrets and meme review video. Speed is fully key. Getting the speed out of the Hagar and keeping speed through it. Like, this map was weird because there's all these practice tunnels, but a lot of them were completely useless because you carry your speed the whole way through this map, and the practice tunnels didn't give you enough. Like, you kind of had to go from 2 practice tunnels back to make sure you had enough speed to be able to practice a section. So it was very interesting. And then sometimes you'd be going faster than that. So Amino taking a little bit of a slow down, then getting on it, getting the height straight away, and then going for speed off of the Hagar. We can look in front of us in this game if anyone's confused, because the shot is so slow. The slaps here, you have to pre-fire these. I think people did get the touch towards the end. This is super nice, land right on the edge there, nicely in the middle, keep it going, bring it round the edge, and strafe into the finish for a 51.99. Super duper nice run from Amino there. Ferreus follows that up, giving us a bot clan player. Mirio, of course, bullying all of the bots and making sure they take points away from Dez in the overall. But sometimes they go rogue and try and win, and he has to reel them in. Oh, I was meant to set up a poll to see who, whether we thought it would be red route or blue route would be the most taken in the top 20. Forgot to set that poll up before we started. Place your bets now. I'm not counting. Very nicely done. Good speed through here. A little bit slower than we've seen. Amino getting well away from the wall on each of those strafe sections. Barely makes it into that section. This isn't Amino, this is Ferreus. Barely made it into that strafe section. And a nice chunky PB, but some chunky reds on there as well. That's definitely going to be something we see. Next up, we have Lith. New player, of course. Thank you very much for coming, Lith, over to Xonotic. We hope that you're here next week for the entire tournament. It would be absolutely brilliant to see you back fighting for the overall. Yeah, I never once went the orange route either. I did the blue route. It's the same thing on jhh's map. The route I chose was entirely based. It wasn't the fact that I prefer to go left. It was the fact that jhh built the left side first. And so I practiced it in the mapping, like testing the map. And then when the map came out, it was like, well, I have to go that way. First button presser, going fast enough to get that first button press and get across. The direct mat is so satisfying. Gets off the strafe towards the end. That didn't look like he actually took that bounce pad, but he was able to get it. The bounce pads are a lot chunkier than you think. The triggers for those, very forgiving. Unlike the rest of that section. To follow that up is Kyle, who is a fantastic duel player. 14th place for Kyle with a 51 dead. Takes a very nice placement on this one. Yeah, the corner of the hitbox definitely helps. The alignment with everything. Great circle jump off the start. Goes red side. There is, of course, the thing of, did someone go red side and V flipped? Ooh, how nice. So I prophesized that in the route guide, but I didn't know whether it would be fast. It doesn't give you great speed coming through there, but it gives you that controllable speed, which in this kind of placement, that controllable speed, a lot of people were slowing down. You'll notice that. A lot of people slowing down to take the Hagar, because taking Hagar faster than about 1200, really difficult to get height from it. But I wonder if we'll see anything different later with that going up through the floors route and being able to keep more speed, take the slide as well as go through the floors. Be really interesting. A whole 1 second jump here. I was working really hard to get this run under 50 seconds. And to try and chase down Kyle, because me and Kyle are super close in the overall coming into this. We've stayed close the entire way through. It's been a tough one. We have another baseline run for what I'm dealing with. This is what I see for the entire week. Blue side, so all you guys going red, you're all weird. Yeah, if you go faster than about 1200, it's really difficult to gain height from. I guess some people are probably going faster. But, yeah. So straight board here with a double jump and a bit of a mortar. That was really difficult to find. I slowed down to 1100, then I hit and end up at 1000. Slow this down a little bit for spacing, because otherwise I jumped off the edge. 1500 through here is super nice. Slap early and shit myself that I won't make it. Strafe super hard, because otherwise I won't make this one. 1900 off of that bounce pad, or thereabouts. 2200 through there. Take this corner, strafe into the finish, and go, ah! Because that was set only a couple of minutes before the end. And to follow me up, 0.01. After going over a second faster than Kyle, we now have 0.01 to qutebones. Not denying the allegation. Oh no, I have an apology to issue with qutebones. I am sorry for claiming that qutebones, I had bad information when I claimed that qutebones was a fantastic weapons player. They've claimed much more of a strafer. So, yeah. Nice rockets though, you know, they're not beating the allegations by going this fast. Gotta say. Yeah. Yeah, you're not beating the allegations with Hagar like that. So clean. Any of these little glitches don't really appear on the actual gameplay for most people, unless they are lagging very much or des. Yeah, the little hops, little BFG hops. Ooh, that strafe right into the finish. Yeah, that's probably... I let go of my strafe a little bit to try and keep it straighter rather than keeping going. That could have been the difference between beating qutebones and not. To follow up qutebones is Uchi in 11th place, going 0.81 seconds faster. A good run from the hungry man. My water bottle has just dribbled all over me. I really need to find out why it doesn't seal. Super long grind here from Uchi. Either that or a super long AFK chill session. Let's see how we go. We've seen a couple, I haven't talked about it, we've seen a couple of people going over the top and landing on that top section. So that's very interesting. Slows down, goes straight up through the floor. Not carrying too much speed through here, but just enough to make it so that you can go straight through. Great speed through here. Changes to the red side. Very interesting people doing that, actually. Very nice. Uchi installed a little trick that he could do. Oh, 1800 speed. Absolutely incredible. Not turning around at all. So much speed coming through here. Did he? Okay, that was for spacing, right? I thought he was picking up a nex in there, but no, you don't get a nex from it. And into the finish. Yeah, changing across to keep speed. That seems really difficult, but super smooth. Super nice run. Yeah, he installed a bind that would tell him his height, his Y height, which was how he managed to keep so much speed and how he knew when to let go. And you could see how smooth he was exiting the Hagars at just the right height. So yeah, fantastic little gadget, little bit of cheaty gadget there. RainbowShadow follows that up again by 0.01. We have some big jumps and some very, very little jumps this map. And it's been fantastic to see because some of the little jumps have been completely different routes and some of the big jumps. Ooh, Rainbow. I forgot he does that. Left-handed. Left-handed. It's always funny when you see someone playing left-handed in a Minecraft YouTube video, and there are a lot of comments from left-handed people saying, "You're weird. How are you playing left-handed?" How has he managed to make that at 2000? He's got to keep the speed here. Goes down at 2000. So this is very close to my checkpoint times, I think. Coming through here at 1700. First, second slap. Well, first button slap, sorry. Absolutely massive end here. So that's interesting. Where did he manage to make that time up from? Very interesting. I mean, it's only a tiny bit faster than Uchi, but he's made a good chunk of times over qutebones and me. And definitely made it faster in the last half with the really fast Hagar. Next up, we have the map 4 mapper in 9th place, probably once again, jhheight, with a 0.68 improvement. Couldn't have gone just a tiny bit faster, jh, get a 0.69. Come on, man. Deemed a shit run, as always, but we all know that is not true. Actually, Rainbow should have slowed down for you. Should just graze the end. Red side start. We're calling this red or orange? Am I going to get flamed for calling this red when it's actually probably is orange? Huge grenade strats. Exits wide here, no direct mount, but comes through with good speed. Gets a lot of speed early while gaining height. Gains a lot of height here. Nice spacing for there. Out of here, 1800 over the top. Grazes that edge. When you're getting 1700, 1800, you got to go for that first button. Just about makes it to the kindness of the trigger. And oh, every single bounce there was just on the pixel edge of where he could go. Super, super clean run from JH. To be followed up by a 1.24 second improvement by 2. Oops, nope. There we go. With a 47.17, 2 places himself in 8th place. Let's have a look how this goes. Absolutely massive leap. Yeah, I can't see how you'd improve that run that JH did. By that much time, certainly. There are some bigger leaps. I think there's a leap in here that is the biggest leap I've seen in a top 20 that is not Goblin. Because Goblin has done more, but there's one coming up shortly. But this is not the biggest leap of the week, a 1.24 second gap. Okay, definitely going up with the double grenade. Really interesting, and gets onto this section. So, comes out with a lot more speed than when we saw Kyle do that. So, very nice. Goes super high and keeps all the speed pretty much coming through there. Very nice. First button, second button, strafe across to get there. And then this is going to be a fast end. Yeah, that flying up through the floor and getting onto the slide. That was really, really fast. Absolutely incredible there from 2. Bringing a super fast run. Woah is going to follow that one up with another big improvement. A 0.75 improvement to get to this one. With Woah, a 46.42. Yeah, absolutely mad to get to that ramp. I mean, we saw Kyle do it, and he had barely enough speed to get through everything else on the easier side. But we will see what Woah's able to pull off. There is talk of that being able to be done fast. By talk, I mean people said they got it. Ooh, that was super nice. Not going up, using the up strategy, but 1500 board. Keeps the speed. Oh, wow. Okay, so that route was faster. If you could get, like, yeah, 1700 or so, 1800 to get that, absolutely brilliant. Straight through to the finish. Does Mackie watch us? Odd question. Mackie very much not in the top 20 of this. But no, Mackie has a yeah, let's just slag off my friend. Mackie has a pre-organized stream at exactly the same time as this. So yeah, you should watch her, but she can't be here, which is rude. Following that up, we have Source, and I have a question. So this is the 1.49 improvement. This is your United States, North America champion. We have a 1.49 second improvement, and I'm going to play this. Then we're going to hop over to the video side, and we're going to watch a clip that Source sent me, and I'll explain all after we have watched this. Let's get it, Source. So after about 5 or 6 days of complaining about having to use weapons, Source is going to get this one. If Source learned to use weapons, we would all be stuffed. I mean, like, look at these grenades. Perfect bounces, everything. Flings off of their 1500 board, well over 1500. Starts fire. What on earth? 2000. He's going to come through with 2000. Just under 2000. Did he hit that? The swing didn't even look like it came out. Yeah, Source was doing 5 nade strats. He has to slow down for that corner. BBWR, man. Having to slow down for that corner. I mean, let's take a look at that one again, shall we? Let's take a look and let's hit a slow-mo on that grenade. He said that this grenade only happened 2 out of 3 times, and that's because the grenade path is slower, so that's one failing. Let's have a look at this in slower speed. Remember, this is 1.5 seconds faster than woah, and we still have a couple of seconds to go to the world record. It's going to be a crazy week. Let's slow this down. Super slow. Yeah, super slow. Boom. Instant grenade. Gets a free one. Slides into this to not lose too much speed. Only loses 300 because he's going diagonally across. But gets just enough height to get over the top. Catches the wall ride. Really nice shot there. Speed this up a little bit. Lands nicely at the bottom of that ramp. Gets a great ramp up. Heading all the way over. Let's crouch underneath this and barely graze it. Gaining some extra speed before we land. We still have 1 rocket mortar shot left to use at the bottom of here. Get the double jump off of there. Start the speed up turning. Getting around this corner at 1200 was hard enough. Getting around this corner at 1500 is absolutely magical. Comes around here. Starts shooting the shots. He knows where he's aiming already. And then he gets the Hagar. Is he getting Hagar? He's getting Hagar boosts off of the floor already. He gains on the floor what he loses in midair. How is he gaining height from this? He's going up. No, like, we were really struggling to figure out how to go up. And look how beautiful this curve is. He just follows with his mouse. I mean, like, this man says he can't weapons. 2000, look at that, he's barely round the corner when he lets go, and he just goes, and now we're in half speed. That was a quarter speed, by the way. Shooting already, he aims his Vangle, he knows he wants about 60 degrees, and there he is, and then he lets go 2000 through here. What happens here? Because it doesn't even look like he swings, he gets the gun. Yeah, it just doesn't play the animation for that swing, but it does play the noise. I don't know if people heard that, but yeah, look how early you've got to hit to be able to slap these things. He's gaining speed from that as well because he's running. He is American, that's true. He can control the gun from his mind. Look at how close he is to landing not on this. And then watch this hit. So apparently he doesn't need to slow down here when he hits this. But he air brakes there. Yeah, he doesn't need to slow down. Not even close to that much. Boom. And all around the corner. He was scared. Sauce got scared. Wow. What a run. But we need to take a look at something else that we have in this round review. We have... Now... Oop, I have opened the wrong thing in the wrong window. Hold on. Professional streamer, press the wrong button. We'll be right back with your regularly scheduled programming. This might scare some of you. So if we go to this screen and here, swap that over to there. This is Source's exact gameplay. This is how Source's screen looks and everything. And his music. He's playing V flipped. So he's going blue route by going this side because he couldn't be bothered to learn the map twice. But here is a route that is Hagarless. This is a 50.6 second. Yeah. So he V flips it after the run to turn faster. What a run. Rocket launcher down. I think he double rocket launched there actually. Again, another shot without it going. So it's not just that one demo. He's hitting that so fast. Oh, he's got an R_water toggle. Wow. Yeah, so he comes around here. So we're on the blue route here. Then he comes out of here and V flips the map with a V flip toggle. But yeah. What a run from Source. Just doing some meme stuff. That was a 50.67, which would have put him in the top 20. That would have put him just between me and Kyle. Water toggle, V-flip toggle, net FPS toggle. Yeah, he said he couldn't learn weapons because he didn't have enough buttons to bind to weapons previously in the week with the... with the Kota map to be able to do stuff. So what are we going to follow that up with then? We are going to follow that up with a 0.5 second improvement to gibbz. Let's take a look. We suggested mouse wheel, but he said no, he's not Mirio. God, watching that map and then him going, for one, going that way, but then it being blue, that's so... Yeah, that's just broken. The advanced nadery has already started, but yeah, I mean, surely there must be more advanced nadery. 2 secondary fires and all the way through and straight through to here. 1600 on the exit. A lot of speed carried. What on earth is going on? Amazing speed, amazing height coming through there. That advanced nadery was absolutely incredible. 3 secondary fires, so I'm going to play this one in slow motion to explain how that worked, but it's based on how Xonotic does timings with the grenade launcher. So the way that the grenade launcher secondary works on that is it's I can't remember the exact number, someone might be able to tell me in the chat, but it is after the first bounce. So that shot can go forever and ever and ever until it hits the ground. But yeah, insane to sink 3 of them together. But yeah, we will slow this down. It's going to look so jittery because we're going to have to go to the super slow motion, 10% speed on that one. So what are we doing? We're coming in here, coming in hot. And then we're aiming up the side. We're going to shoot a secondary fire there. holding for the second secondary fire. No letting go. It's just a double secondary fire because both of them are going to land at the same time. That one's shot when it lands. All three of them are there. 1, 2, 3. You can see the boosts. And then there's the final boost. And now he's bringing 1500 speed out of here and a double jump, flying through that floor. So that's 1500 speed. Everybody else is bringing 1500 speed. But holy... Plus one more to 4 explosions at the same time. But I think it was 1, 2, 3, wait, 4. For sure. On that one. Flicking across, gets the double jump off the barrels here. I didn't even notice that. Then up onto the top in the vortex section to get the spacing for hitting that section. Yeah, the success rate on that must be... Got it once. Surely. No way that's consistent. But if it is... Whoa. I mean, it did have a lineup. He looked at certain sections. You could tell in the slow motion that he was looking straight across, then slightly round, and constantly following where he wanted to go. And you just have to follow that, and he was holding secondary fire. First nade getting stuck on the ramp. Definitely. Yep, that would kill it. So anyway, what do we follow that one up with? We followed that up with Frostie going a second 0.3 faster. How many times? How can we go faster? I don't understand it. I do not get it. How are we going faster? That's 5th. Gibbz came 5th. There are 3 more seconds to go. And this is 1.3 of them. So Frostie. He showed us all of the secrets earlier. The multiplayer secrets. Free nade. Double secondary. He is going all the way around. 1500 to the ramp. High speed exit. Pre-fires the shots. Lower than source. Super fast. Has to slow down coming into there. Gets the shot. Wall strafing. Super brave because you can nick things on the wall. Fast exit, there it is, jhheight. You've been begging for it to happen. The fast finish on the bounce pads going all the way around. Full cut round, only just makes it to the end there. I mean, I'm going to play it again because everybody else has got to play again, but... Source. I mean, Frostie, this is just a regular run. It's just really, really fast. This is the second time he's done that as well. I don't know where to slow down and analyse, really. I think we have to analyse that slowdown that he takes to get into the Hagar run. So free nade there. And then we're coming through. We're just... I mean, it's, yeah, not a regular run, but there's nothing that hasn't been done already by many people. Super clean there to get the grenade early so that he's on the way up and catches the ramp very nicely. Super fast here. We've got to slow this down. Hyper slow. He's not gaining speed from the shots on the floor like Source somehow managed to do. Can't believe he intended that, but he probably would say he did. Gaining speed. I mean, yeah. 2000 speed round here. Just flying through. Oh yeah, he's gaining height with the stack on the wall, so he's pre-stacking the Hagar. Let's see if he does it again here. Coming in, so you get the Hagar fairly early. Shooting there to gain height. Yeah, so there's early ones to be able to gain height as soon as you're hitting the wall. And also to not lose as much speed by hitting the wall. Let's go early. Big overstrafe. It's definitely an intended overstrafe. You can just see he's using that to break. I guess to get under this. And then to carry on. Gets the immediate slap that doesn't tag anything. And now we need to slow it down. Because this was the bit where I think he gained quite a bit of this time. I mean, 1.3 seconds is absolutely mad versus that Gibbz run. but you can see where it potentially comes from, not having to go wide on this exit, and then because you're on the inside of the second to last and you come round, you're keeping more speed and you're getting a better line into this finish, and you can get back on the strafe to the finish earlier. All of that put together. And look at that checkpoint time for checkpoint 10. It is slightly faster than what he beat gibbz by. What a run. What a run from Frostie. But now we enter the top 3 with Shynx's run. Now the thing with Shynx's run is that he was 1.3 seconds or something faster than at checkpoint 2 or something. I can't remember. So the first couple of checkpoints, very important to watch here. And then we've got it. I mean, I don't think it's because of anything that he did in the exit. I can't believe it would be something he did in the end. I think it's something that someone else did in the end. Holy! Wow. So how is that so much faster than everybody else did that? I mean, it was super clean and it was an absolutely ease of setup and everything, coming around fast on this exit hole. Very nice and fast into the corner. Just an absolutely perfect stack. Goblin kneels the start. The Hagar wasn't incredible. I need to pull up the splits for this section really quick. Where's Firefox gone? There it is. I need to grab these splits. So we are looking at, for Shynx's run, let's just run it through at half speed or something. We are looking at Shynx's run being at checkpoint 4, it is 1.5 seconds faster than Goblin. That is a 41 if it was faster. Look at this. Up. 1, 2, 3. Holding down secondary fire, just like gibbz did. Boom, boom. That was all in one hit as well. Head hitter on the roof, so he doesn't go as high. Doesn't lose any speed from it, fortunately. But it is a head hitter, but he lands beautifully on the exit there. Onto that blue platform. Straight through this hole. Yeah, gibbz, you could see the boom, 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 boom. Gaining speed here. Hits rough on the Hagar on this section. Run it straight through. And then how's his Hagar hit here? Not as good either. Let's go early. 1700 exit speed. It's insane exit speed. I mean, this really is. We're splitting hairs here and gaining seconds. Just incredible. But yeah, gibbz up by 1.45. Checkpoint 4 is the first one that actually matters. Everybody is within a gnat's asshole of each other for the first 3 checkpoints in that strafe section. Yeah, that spacing was brutal. I think a lot of people had bad spacing they had to deal with, but I can't imagine this route, because the bad spacing that he got, there's no way it was consistent. I had bad spacing for a while when I was getting 52s, but it was bad spacing consistently because I was always coming out with the same speed after the ramp slide. So, but I can't imagine that being consistent speed. Yeah, the surf route you can control your spacing more. You can't. You can sort of get a half bounce out of it by going higher or lower, for sure. But that route, yeah, you're just given what you got, and I can't imagine coming out of that top section being consistently the same speed or anything like that. Pull back up the spreadsheet and see how much faster we are going. A 0.23 improvement, and we have the Frenchman Delta on our table. What can Delta bring to this party? It's not going to be as fancy as that start, but Delta was saying BBWR, he was mentioning some, you know, you're never sure how much is true what people are saying, but he was mentioning some 2200 Hagars. So let's take a look I have actually got no idea what he meant by a 2200 Hagar. But let's take a look. He goes orange, the same as his colour. This is actually a picture of the crosshair we're using, is actually a picture of his moustache. Super fast free nade. Really quick through here, 1550 exit speed, a lot of speed. Hagar, 1700 after the hit. That's a 2200, that's where he meant exiting the first Hagar. 2000 through, hits the button without it looking and takes a 180 flick at it. Bounces right on the tail end of that. Just in there, very nice. Pre-fire stack on the second climb was beautiful indeed. We will definitely be taking a look at that one in slow motion. That definitely gave him the height for that. And yes, the question from Lith. What the hell did Goblin do to go 0.76 faster? Because I quote Delta from last week. I don't know what he did, is what Delta said last week after getting his second place time. And Delta was half a second off. And it's just, yeah. We will see what Goblin did. We do have a bonus Goblin demo that we will be playing before Goblin's actual run. That's super clean and super nice. Classic Delta. Boom. Slow it down. One on the floor. One on the floor was quite nice. He does lose quite a bit of speed here. That was super. I reckon he lost a few runs there to shooting one shot through that hole. W1 Surf does actually seem faster, yeah. Then here. Pre-firing. Oh, he's going the exact Hagar speed. Look at that. Crazy stack. So that's why you needed 2000. Because the Hagar comes through at 2000. Loses a fair bit of speed here, but... Phew. Yeah, what Mirio said. Crack off. Ignore that glitch as we wormhole through the warp zone. It doesn't exist in the actual gameplay. This is super clean. Look at this. Oop. And turn. And now we're looking the other way because he's going so fast that if he was looking... Like, there's got to be a point where you're going fast enough that you just hold down secondary fire. You know? You could hold down primary fire as well for this, by the way. If you've got no ammo in your shotgun, it will do a secondary fire. Look at that. Let's speed this up a little bit. Just to half speed. I think this is even a quarter speed, actually. I've been calling it half speed and quarter speed, but I think it's a quarter and a tenth. I think I changed them because of Goblin. So close to that wall. Beautiful strafe section. Gaining speed on the AD turn. We say it with all of the best players. They gain speed, not lose it on the AD turns. Most players either keep it or lose a little bit of it on some of these AD turns, trying to keep it as tight. But these guys are so smooth in their mouse movements. And look at that flick. Perfectly onto the strafe, right on the edge of that 100%. Absolutely beautiful. Let's take a look at the bonus video I have from Goblin then. On this one. Back over to the other screen and to that shot. He hit a ramp at the end. Oh yeah, you can just like glance the steps coming down. So this, let's just take a look. I have watched this one. Goblin's HUD is ugly. Taking this top route. Taking it nice and clean through here. Free nade. Pre-fire 1. Straight up through the floor. 1500 exit. Clean onto this with a Hagar round the corner. Apparently playing with entities off. Nearly 2000 through. Firing backwards says that if you go 1900 onto the first one, you'll lose it. And then he just goes and bonks that wall. Brutal. But what is the actual 41.67? Because that was faster. But this is what he actually finished. But that's a -1 second checkpoint on the world record going into that. I need to moisten my lips. Here we go. Rip. I've been noticing the faster guys are getting no double jump off those first stairs, which I think allows them to get that shortcut through here. Absolutely mad fast. Just go for this ramp route. Pre-fires the rockets, loses barely any speed hitting that. Still pre-firing, just might as well have a toggle fire. 2,000 through there, has to slow it down slightly so that he doesn't miss the second shot. Double jumping the inside, lands right on the end on the fast route, strafing it straight to the finish. W turn into the finish. Absolutely mad on the comfy route. I mean, earlier someone asked Goblin, what did Goblin do? And Goblin said, nothing special. And yeah, I mean, just the finish speed at 2,200. Shynx has replied that the fastest speed on nades was 1780. Absolutely mad. But can Goblin hit the Shynx nade? We're going to say it again. We said it for the last... we said it last year. That there was time to be saved on map 5, but no one's gone for it. I mean, Goblin ate a ramp last year, and you know, no one's gone for it. But let's take a look at this section in slow motion, because he's bouncing so perfectly and losing so little speed on these sections, then straight up here and avoids this top ramp. Doesn't lose much speed. It's a ooh, eats that quite heartily, but it's not terrible. Flying down the face of this ramp, starts shooting early. Let's take a look at this pre-fire. He's chasing these in, gets the pre-fire. That's what you need for height. Only loses 100 speed here. And it's gorgeous. I mean, again, coming through that little cut, you probably lose runs because a Hagar shot goes through the center of that hole. Goblin's firing all the way to the end. He gets as little speed as he possibly needs is the interesting thing here. Is he going to gain speed off the back of those? No, he's not. There's no way. Pre-firing the Hagar loses 300 speed. That Delta route with the pre-fired nades would have been absolutely beautiful on this bit. But he comes out of here with 2,000 speed anyway, looking up just at the right time, spots that black section in the corner of his eye, brings it round here. Got to slow down on this next section, you'll see. Just comes through here. Slowing down on purpose after he hits this. Gets that shot. Looking backwards. He's backwards strafing? He's got 95% strafe backwards into a wall. Nothing special. Better strafe than most people can get. What speed are we watching? I thought I sped it up when I hit play. If you strafed any better, you couldn't possibly have strafed any better. But yeah, the missing the second button would have been rough. Super rough. Taking this corner, back on the strafe, very clean. Through here. And boom. 2,700 into the finish. What a run. Congratulations to Goblin. 5 out of 5. Wow. Let's take a look at the grinding history for the week before we head into the stats for the entire year. We have round number 5. Floopy took the speed record by going into the secret with Kota Race 1. And let's have a look at our history for, let's go with the top 5. I mean, look at these gaps. Just huge gaps. Goblin, when did he take the world record? He would not be beaten after the 19th, so that is Tuesday. Let's turn on a few more places. Like, yeah, the gaps are just massive at the end. Huge, and then you get these tiny ones like me to qutebones, and where's the other tiny one? Up above. I can't see it. I had a big jump, almost a second. Let's pop Snow's run on, because Snow set the record very early. Who's that? Lith. Lith took his record on the 18th and didn't improve it. Absolutely brilliant. Let's pop Floopy on down at the bottom here. There you are. No, Delta Shynx. No, there was another one that was 0.01. In fact, I could just pull up the... Me and qutebones and Uchi and RainbowShadow. It was like a... There it is. You got the jump to Uchi and RainbowShadow. Because they merged early, so you don't see it because it's back here. Because they merged the day before. What a set of runs. What's next in the plan.txt? Stats for the year. Stats, and turn off the meme review. Please go check out the meme review that I did. We have the XDWC stats. So we have your Africa overall champion. Unfortunately, not many people playing in Africa this year was Yummy Jams. Only played 1 round. Dark Terminal took round 2, but the points went to Yummy Jams. Asia went all the way through to wdjzr. Goblin took all of Europe, of course, with the overall total win. Oceania was dominated by khanate, and Des takes out South America. RU drops into the Europe category, I believe. Next up, we have the map of all of the countries that players came from. There's your 2 Africa players, boldly shown. Darker the colour, the more players. The most players was 33 from, I believe Russia was the top. And this is how the overall ranking progression turned out. We will take a look at how that turns out a bit more in detail over on the spreadsheet side, and the relative times, which is some really interesting lightning, where you see the bumps and jumps of each map. Round 5 is really interesting. You see how it flattens out and then it jumps, and then it flattens out and then it jumps all over the place. Round number 1, very steady. Round number 3, also very steady. A couple of jumpy bits where people were able to jump. Relative times is it's the time that gives you the points. So if I do a time that is twice as long as yours, it'll be 2. This isn't the guy. Yes, x-axis is ranks. It's not the grind history. It is the relative times. And now we bring in the round overview on the spreadsheet. Is spreadsheet correct? Yes. Haha! I did it correctly. There's all of your overall times. We had 127 players from 34 countries this week. The continents we've already seen. The overall we will see in a minute. The overall ranking progression has broken. Whoops. Oh yeah. I know why that's broken. Russia had the top with 31 in Asia and 2 in... 31 in Europe, 2 in Asia. United States, 31 players. Germany had 29, which is a lot for Germany. Australia with 24. Turkey with 22, which is taking a very competitive Asian overall. UK, 14. I take it. I'll take it. Argentina, Des of course took that. Belarus, Lady D. Black Wolf taking the Netherlands. Not many Netherlands players this year. but a total of 52 countries taking part. That is a true world championship. Players that have played every round in XDWC history. These are the XDWC legends. We have Clasps, Lightbringer, Malice, Mario, Mirio, Morosophos, ProRaid, RainbowShadow, Ramses, and Spike. Incredible players that have completed all of the championships. The world map didn't load, that's why we had a picture, and there are more player origin stats. Now let's take a look how the overall planned out. I will have a video on this and the whole way through. But yeah, that Mario is not the Mario that is the Zon Zon core team Mario. But yeah, Goblin taking the win overall from Frostie, Delta, Shynx, Source, gibbz, woah, jhheight, Snow, 2, Rainbow, Uchi, qutebones, Plaza, Kyle, MxCrab, Banano, Ninja, wdjzr, and Nature, just falling outside. Ferreus again, Piss 1v1, Club Me Club Penguin, Mangione, Akamoli. I don't know when to stop, I'm going to stop there. In the final round we had, let's hide a couple of rounds. We had Goblin staying in the same place. Of course, he was flat across the entire thing. Frostie and Delta stay in the same places. Shynx goes up one place, overtaking Source with that fantastic run that Shynx had. gibbz keeps his place very kindly. A huge jump in points down, 300 to woah, who gains a place. jhheight does as well. Snow goes down and gets beaten by jhheight by 9 points. 100 points separates Snow and 2, who's up 2 places, overtaking RainbowShadow and Uchi, who are very close to each other, 20 points apart. 100 points down qutebones, who gains a place over Plaza, who is 100 points down on qutebones. Then there is 150 points down to Kyle, who is 30 or 40 points ahead of me. We both stay in our same places. Banano is up 2 places over Ninja and wdjzr, super close there, under 100 points between them. And Nature rolls out the top 20 with staying in the same place and only a few points off of wdjzr. Those are all of your overall rankings. I please beg you to watch the video that I will eventually have out about all of this history. Absolutely massive from everybody. Thank you very much for coming. Here are your overall rankings. Goblin, massive win, all 5 maps. In fact, all 6 maps, right? Yeah, all 6 maps, even won the original round 0. Frostie and Delta, and Shynx and Source. Thank you to everybody here on this list who played. I'm going to quickly scroll down to the bottom because there are some people who played round 0 that I would like to show off on the stream. Because people who only played round 0 didn't make it into my copy paste that was at the start of the stream. But here, Super Knight and G and Xonotic Player, the best players to only play round 0. Quite a few players that you actually recognise, you know, Nuclear Fog, seen around on the regular servers, only played round 0. There we are, 375 total players. We will see you next year, hopefully. There are more tournaments to come. We will have live tournaments and stuff throughout the year. Please join us on the Relax Running servers. Check out the other videos that I do going through the world records. Every single month I take a look at all the world records that have been set. It would be fantastic if you could keep joining us because this game is fantastic and it is all thanks to the people who play it, and to Morosophos and to Des and to Mirio who have adminned it, and to jhheight and VP and Cool and Freddy and Kota for the maps. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you hopefully sooner than next year, but if you're only coming back next year, I'll see you next year.